What is up guys, my name is Ben Hartwell. Thanks for checking out the channel. If you haven't already done so, please consider smashing that subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. So my buddy Dwayne has lent me this. This is the Abasi Pathos pedal, built in collaboration with Tosin Abasi and Brian Wampler from Wampler Pedals, and it's a kind of American styled tube amp overdrive pedal going from mild breakup sounds all the way through to really overdriven heavy guitar sounds. It's got two different voicings on it, a really musical dynamic sounding EQ, and it just sounds amazing. So let's run down the specs of this pedal. It's an American tube amp style overdrive. It has two different voicings from smooth to edge. It's using super high quality premium components. It's made in the US in collaboration with Brian Wampler from Wampler Pedals. Has top mounted jack and power sockets. Has a really expressive, musical and usable 3-band EQ, and the gain range goes from mild breakup all the way through to searing high gain tones, and a soft touch foot switch. One thing that I've always kind of been critical of these amp in a box kind of pedals is that they never really do sound like a real amp. They're either really tinny sounding, the overdrive doesn't really have the kind of harmonic content that you usually get from a tube amp. The EQs can sometimes not really do a whole lot. Sometimes you only have one tone control and it just doesn't really do anything. But that's not the story with this pedal. This EQ is what I think really makes this pedal. The treble control is especially useful for dialing in this pedal for loads of different sounds. Another thing that I found really quite incredible with this pedal is everywhere on the gain control seems to be pretty usable. A lot of the times you only find a certain sweet spot with these kind of gain pedals where it kind of sounds pretty good, but here the entire gain range has really usable sounds in it. And with this voice switch, which goes from smooth to edge, you can kind of dial it in to any kind of overdrive sound that you're after. So I figured what better way to demo what this pedal can do than to build a track using this pedal. So every sound that you heard in that opening track was using this pedal in some way or another. So I've tried to use the pedal in a load of different ways to see what it actually sounds like. I've done it into a clean amp with loads of gain. I've done it into a dirty amp with the gain down, pushing that channel. And I've got to say, every sound that I got out of this pedal, I really liked. It seems to be one of those pedals where you can't really get a bad sound out of it. The only criticism I really have of it is the mid control. Once you get it up past about a third on the control, it kind of makes the sound a little boxy and kind of narrows everything down, which isn't to say it's not a usable sound, it just wasn't something that I was totally keen on. So I often found myself backing off on that mid control, but one of the controls I found myself using loads of is the treble control. Really cranking that really helps bring out all the definition that's in the gain in this pedal. So that's enough talking. I'm going to walk you through every sound that I used to make this track, and I'm going to show you exactly how I set the pedal up for each of those tones. Okay, so the first two guitars you hear in the track are hard pan guitars left and right. One is my Sir Modern and the other is my Les Paul. So the tone I was going for with the Les Paul was a really thick, overdriven tone. So on the pedal you can see that I'm really pushing the gain. I've got the volume up as well, so we're pushing the front end of the amp. I've rolled back some of the bass on the EQ because it does seem to be quite a bass heavy pedal. I've also pulled out some of that mid to help with that boxy sound, and I'm pushing the treble to give you some definition in the gain. And I'm on the edge setting on the voice switch. So my clean tone into the clean channel of the Victory V30 sounds like this. So the other guitar that's on the opposite side to the Les Paul is my Sir Modern. And the tone that I wanted to go for this guitar was a much more mid-scooped kind of metal-ish tone. So I'm not really a metal kind of guy, but this pedal does this tone really well. So on the pedal you can see that I've pulled out quite a lot of the mids. I'm boosting the treble again for the definition. I'm still on that edge setting, but I've rolled back the gain a little bit, and I'm pushing the volume a touch to push the front end of the amp. So the clean channel on the Victory V30 sounds like this. And with the pedal, so with those two different settings and those two different guitars, these are the isolated guitar parts from the track. Okay, so the next guitar part that you hear in the track is the high dissonant part that's over the top of those pan guitars. And for this tone I wanted something that was kind of nasty and trebly sounded. So on the pedal you can see that I've turned down the bass and mids, and I've absolutely gunned the treble to try and get the maximum amount of high information out of it. I've moved over to the smooth voicing and I've got the gain just past midway, and I'm still pushing up the volume a little bit to push into the front end of the clean channel on the Victory. So the clean tone sounds like this. So here's the isolated guitar part from the track. So after that intro we get to the breakdown in the track, and one of the first guitars we hear is this kind of funk rhythm guitar part. So the tone I was going for was keeping it kind of clean. I'm using the pedal really for its EQ section and just to push a little bit into the front of the amp. As you can see on the pedal, I'm not really touching the bass, it's straight up. I'm rolling off quite a lot of mids though, because I didn't really want that information. I kind of wanted to keep the tone more in the top end. So I'm really gunning that treble again. I've got the gain nearly all the way down and the volume nearly all the way up. So I'm not really using the gain from the pedal. I'm using the pedal to push into the front end of the amp. And I'm on the smooth setting on the voicing switch. So the clean tone on position 2 on the modern sounds like this. So you can hear that I am gaining up the tone a bit, but what I'm mostly using the pedal for is its EQ section. So here is that tone with the isolated guitar from the track. So the other guitar that comes in the same time as that funk guitar is another clean part that's playing double stops. And for this tone, I really wanted to see how clean the pedal could get and what the tone's like from the pedal when the gain is completely off. So as you can see on the pedal, I've got the gain rolled all the way down. I'm still on that smooth setting. I'm still pushing the volume from the pedal into the front of the amp. And for the EQ, I've got the bass and mids rolled off and the treble up quite a long way. So clean tone position 4 on the modern sounds like this. So there you can hear, even though we've got that treble pushed up quite a long way, we still get quite a dark tone coming from the pedal compared to what's coming straight out the clean channel of the Victory. Things do get a bit brighter if you switch the voicing switch over to Edge, but this is the kind of tone that I really needed for this part. So here's the isolated guitar with this tone from the track. There are a few other guitar layers underneath the ones that I've already explained in this part of the track, but because they're not too prominent in the track or explain them in full here, I'll just show you the isolated guitar parts with the pedal settings. For the guitar solo, I wanted to do something a little bit different and see how the pedal interacted with the dirty channel of the V30. So I've set the V30 to a kind of crunchy tone. I've got the gain on 1 because it's a very gainy amp. It sounds like this. And with the pedal on. So on the pedal you can see that I've got the bass rolled off quite a long way because the V30 gain channel is a very dark sounding gain. I've got the mids up just past 12 o'clock and I'm really pushing that treble again because I really like the definition it gives us. I'm on the edge setting, I've got the volume just past 12 and I'm pushing the gain up to about 1 o'clock. And even with that much gain on the pedal, it's still interacting really nicely with the gain structure of the amp. A lot of times when you use these kind of pedals into the front of a dirty amp, things can get a bit mushy or they can get really fizzy and unusable, but this pedal seems to handle it really well and the amp still seems to respond in a really musical way. So here's that tone with the isolated guitar part from the track. And the last tone that I want to show you is a thickener that I wanted to use to help beef up the ascending riff towards the end of the intro and the end of the tune. I just felt with the two guitars on their own it was kind of lacking just a little bit of something, so I wanted another guitar part just straight up the middle to help thicken and beef up that tone. So I'm back on the Les Paul and I'm back on the clean channel of the V30. I'm on the neck pickup and it sounds like this. And with the pedal, so you can hear there on its own that's a very dark sounding undefined tone, but that's exactly what I needed to go between those two other guitar parts. So on the pedal you can see that I'm pushing the bass up quite a long way, the mid and treble I've got straight up. I'm on the smooth voicing, I've got the volume on about 2 o'clock and the gain at about 1 o'clock. So here's that part in the track. So there you go, the Tosin Abasi Pathos pedal. Sounds incredible. I've been really impressed with this pedal. Like I say, a lot of the amp in the box kind of tones I've never been too fond of, but this one just sounds amazing. I don't think I'm going to be giving this pedal back. So there you go guys, if you want to know any more about this pedal you can head to benhartwellguitar.co.uk where I've got my full write-up about this pedal. There's also links on there and in the description below if you want to pick this pedal up for yourself. Full disclosure, they are affiliate links, so if you do end up purchasing, I do get a little kickback for the channel. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you found it useful and I hope you get down to a guitar store somewhere near you and try out this pedal because it sounds amazing. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up below. If you want to watch another video on my channel, you can do it just up here. And don't forget to subscribe, you can do it right there. I'll see you in the next one.